Hello, retro fans. It's Friday evening, Friday night almost, yes, indeed. And I thought I will have some, chilly C64 gaming on the Ultimate 64 with the most recent firmware and some cartridge games. Like I have done this few weeks ago, I don't know. And this time we're going to change this a little bit and basically this time I like to test some newer cartridge games. So the last session was mostly about old cartridge games and some homebrew gaming or homebrew games. And this time I have collected a couple of new cartridges, and that's basically what I want to test today. And we're going to change this a little bit as well, because this time I decided that we are not going to use any ARM2 SID, we are not going to use any ARM SID, no real SID, no FPGA SID, or no Swin SID Ultimate. No, this time we're going to use the implemented stock, whatever we want to call this, SID emulation of the Ultimate 64. And that's something I have kind of ignored, neglected over the last weeks or months, because my focus was more on the, let's say, hardware replacement SIDs, like the ones I have mentioned already. But I think it's about time to pay some attention to the Aldi SID emulation as well, because this has made a lot of progress. It has improved a lot, and Gideon is spending a lot of time getting this up to speed. And basically, I think it's really worth to spend some time with the Aldi SID emulation. And I already started with an old cartridge, which is kind of contradictory to what I have planned for this session. But I was really interested in to listen to the 6581 emulation of the Alti-SID, because this is probably one of the most challenging areas for SID replacement, SID emulation. And I have picked Flimbo's Quest as a very first thing, or well, as the one I was going to test. And you may have listened to this in the loop while waiting for the video to start. And we may have some more, listening to the Flimbo's Quest sound. And we may jump into the configuration of the Alti-SID, just to give you some short overview how I have configured this. And as you can see, we have no SIDs installed in socket 1 or 2. The Aldi SIDs are set to the base address, so using the full range, which is probably not really required, but anyway, it's probably more to be on the safe side. And as we can see, I've set the Aldi SID filter curve to 6581, and there are basically two settings, 6581 and 6581 alternative, I guess. Alt stands for this. And in my impression, the standard 6581 sounds so far the best for Flimbo's Quest. And if we want to play SIDs in the 6580 mode, we have to set the combined waveforms to 6581 as well, because the older SID is not able to combine all of the available waveforms. This is just a feature that's available for the 8580. And to be on the safe side, I've set this to combined waveforms. So, and that's basically all we can adjust, except for the filter resonance, which is either low or high, which isn't playing such a big role for Flimbo's Quest, to be precise. But I found, while testing this with headphones, that this sounds a bit more grainy, a bit more aggressive, but it is, as I said, not really making a big difference at all. So basically, if we just listen to the 6580 sound a little bit, it sounds very close to what we expect for 6580 SID. It's perhaps not as, let's say, noisy or not as aggressive as a real SID may sound, but this is really more kind of a, let's say, personal taste, because there is no 6580 that sounds like the next 6580, so 81. It is really, they are pretty unique, and therefore there is no one and only 6580 sound, but 81 sound. So you really have to pick the one that sounds best for you. And as we have seen for the SID replacements already, most of them are able to adjust the filter curve, for example, to match it to certain musicians, for example, and therefore you are more flexible in this manner. But I think especially for gaming and for most of the, let's say, standard sounds or standard music, the settings the Ultimate 64 is providing right now are really sufficient. So anyway, this session is not about chatting about SIDs and all that stuff. This session is more about playing games on the Ultimate 64, and may just jump into my gaming screen. And as you can see, I have, this time I am using a joystick. Last time I was using a gamepad, and as you can see, I have prepared a couple of games already, and we are perhaps not going to play all of them, so it's really a kind of huge stack, but you may suggest some games in the chat if you want. So it's really something we can decide on the fly, and I just want to have a couple of minutes with Flimbo's Quest just to jump around a little bit and see how this feels on the Ultimate 64. So, I just have to mention, I'm not really a hardcore gamer, so therefore it's probably going to be a little bit embarrassing for some games every now and then, but anyway, it's not about the profession, it's more about the passion. And I hope the joystick is not making too much noise. That's one of the downside of using a joystick, that they are a little bit louder than a gamepad, for example. And especially the Tech 2 has quite a loud fire button, so that's probably something that will disturb our sound experience every now and then. But anyway, I think it's not going to be a big issue. So Flimbo's Quest is a rather old game, and it came on a combi cartridge together with 3 different games, and this cartridge was basically built to promote and to, well, let's say, oop, that was close, to provide games for the C64 game system, the C64 GS, and which wasn't really a success for Commodore, but basically those cartridges are not really rare. They pop up on eBay every now and then, but I was, well, looking for a cartridge in good condition for quite a while until I found one for a reasonable price. And what's really interesting is that we got Flimbo's Quest as one major title on the cartridge, and the second title is going to be Clax, which is an arcade conversion. And I really love the game. I thought perhaps isn't looking very good on the C64, but well, for having a game session with Clax every now and then, it's almost perfect. That's quite fine, yes. So, and yeah, we made it through the first level. so that's probably the easy part. And I learned that Flimbo's Quest has 8 different levels. I think I never made it beyond level 5. It gets really hard after level 4 and 5, and you run out of time every now and then. So this is really a pretty challenging game. But anyway, it's probably one of the best old school jump and run games available on the C64, with those huge sprites and this fantastic music. And I have to admit, it's one of my favorite titles to test SID emulations as well, because it has just a very nice title music. And well, the mission is quite simple. You have to go through the levels and collect coins to buy some, let's say, power-ups or some additional time. As I mentioned, that's going to be a very challenging part, and we have to find kind of a monster that's blinking. Oh, that's dangerous. And those monsters contain letters, and we need those letters to complete the level and basically to free all those little creatures from a bad scientist, I think, as far as I remember the story. And so basically I'm not sure whether we're really killing them or if we just kind of well, free them and send them to a different dimension or something like this. So it's probably a strange concept, being here to making good things, but killing all those animals, which is indeed a little bit... I haven't paid attention to this one, I was just focused on this blue heart. You can get additional lives when you collect 5 hearts with different colors. And as you can see, it's probably a little bit tricky to find them and to shoot them to change the color. So, oops, it was 1 pixel too far. So basically we may have to pay more attention to the details here. Oh, I jumped into the hole. So, last life. Let's see how far we can go with this one. Not that far, okay. Well, basically that's all for Flimbo's Quest, I think. Because this session is about new games, not about old games. But we made it into the high score. That's quite fine. But the cartridge isn't saving the high score, so therefore it doesn't play that much to enter the initials here. Anyway, so as I said, we got a stack of games here, and it just may introduce you to the games available, and then you may just pick ones you may want to see. So I'm definitely going for Sam's Journey because it has a fantastic sound. That's really what I want to listen to. I got Space Moguls, that's probably more of a jump in, have a few minutes there and then jump out, because it takes at least 15-20 minutes to play around. We got Aviator Arcade II, that's probably interesting. We got Hunter's Moon. Hunter's Moon was having some troubles at earlier firmware versions on the Ultimate 64, but this has been solved a couple of updates ago, so to say. But I want to have a look. And then we got Lebede Mort. This it's a kind of flip screen jump and run game, very nice graphics. We got Sydney Hunter, which is a high-res jump and run game as well, very nice. This is a little bit older. This is a Trance Sector Ultimate from Richard Bayless. Has a fantastic trance music. If you are into trance, well, then you may enjoy this. We can have a look at this as well. Then I got Luftrauzers, which is going to be very funny to play because the controls are a little bit challenging and I haven't played it for months. So, and last but not least, I've got Galencia, where we can have a quick shootout on some, well, kind of invader style space creatures. So, and as I said, let's start with Sam's journey. And in order to do so, we have to switch off the Ultimate64 so that we can save the switch the cartridge safely. So, and since this is a new game, we have to reconfigure the Ulti-SID. And before we start with the game, let's jump into this quite quickly and select filter curve 8580. And then we set the waveforms to 8580 as well. And then I think everything should be fine. Let me briefly check the sound. Oh, I think this sounds quite good so far. Let's jump into the game and have a listen how this sounds at the very beginning. So as you can see, I made some progress already, not that much, but let's start with the very first level. It will probably take a couple of attempts until I get used to this sliding. Oh, we may just throw the stone at it. Nein! Oh, damn it. It's indeed really hard to come from Flimbo's quest and jump to Sam's journey because the controls are so different. And Sam tends to slide around a little bit and it's not reacting to your controls immediately. There's already always some delay in between, and this makes it a little bit hard to switch between the games, but perhaps we're going to make some progress. But I think I missed something. I remember that we have to jump on this first platform as well to pick up something from above. So, just got some power-ups. And here's the first checkpoint. It's probably going to make life a lot easier. So just going to pick some additional diamonds. And now we're going to be a ninja, and I think this was required at some point. Not going to be a ninja anymore. I'm really having a hard time remembering whether this was a good choice or not. Nope. It wasn't my intention to step through the door again, so I think we're going to use the space suit. Now it's gone, damn! Well, then we may have to go through the level without it. And the issue is that the ninja, strangely, can't kill anything with some kind of weapon. We just have to jump on them. So... checkpoint! So, this is going to be a little bit tricky now. Not even sure what this button was going to do. Ah, it opens the door, okay. Whew. That was close. Nope. The good thing about Sam's journey is that there is no time limit, so we can idle around as long as we want to and search for all the stuff. But the main part is that we have to remember it. And this is a lot like Mario. And if you're not playing the game that often, then it's probably a little bit tricky to remember all the places where we have to do something. That was close. Ah. I'm not sure whether we can throw a key at monsters. Oh, we opened the door already. So, okay. I think we need to get some stuff here and there. Just remember that there was something at the bottom of this level. I can't remember where it was. We can jump so high, so we may have to find a different route. I really have to admit, Sam's journey plays a lot easier with a gamepad, especially with a gamepad where you have a key for jumping. It's a bit strange with a joystick. So I think we come to this place later anyway. Jump! Now we got it. So this is the exit. We are not going to go through the exit now because we want to pick up a couple of things. Like this one. And I'm not sure whether we can jump down here or not. Can't remember. But now we are able to pick up a couple of things which we have ignored at the beginning of the level. Not sure whether we made it here. Yes. Oh, no, no, no. We lost the space suit. Ah. Damn. This was indeed not very good. Anyway, I thought we can jump down here. Ah. Checkpoint. So, once again. And let's take this route this time. Oh. Another checkpoint. Ah no, we can't jump down there. So, this was a false friend. But fortunately we had a checkpoint quite close. Then let's try to go down here. We can find another suit, but we can not take this with us. But perhaps we can... Nope. Just remember, there's something at the beginning of the level where we need the space SAM port, and since I spoiled this by dying with the space SAM, we are not able to complete the level with all coins, so we're missing one coin. But I have improved myself a little bit, 91 to 97. Ah, yes indeed, save game, continue. Forest cave. Ice flowers, 0%. So, I'm not sure which game state I have used, because I was using the soft cartridge, so to say, the cartridge ROM on several systems, and it's very nice that you can copy the game states from the cartridge to a disc and from the disc to a cartridge, and I have used this a lot for testing as well. So it's probably not my biggest progress I have made with SAM, but I have to admit I haven't played it that often, so... Oh! And the ice world is even more slippy than the other worlds. Let's see whether we can have some progress, but I think it's about time to go for the next game. Oh! Well, I think it's about time to go for the next game. So, then let's move on. Let's have some... Oh well, maybe we stick to the jump and run genre for a while before we move to some more action. Then let's go for La Baie de Mort. So, power off. So this game has some fantastic intro music as well. Let me check. So there's a lot of story about this, and we're probably not going to read all that stuff. And main purpose is we have to escape, and this time we have to press a button to jump. Oh, okay. Damn it. So now we are inside the church, so we have a little bit more time to investigate all that stuff, because we can read some things. I think 12 brothers hit and died here. And I think we have to go up. So as I said at the beginning, like Sydney Hunter, the Baie de Mort is some high-res graphic game, and I think the color combination is really nice. So quite often you have the issue that in high-res mode some things aren't really fitting very well, but here they really made it very nice, and especially with some small, let's say, relaxation screens like this one, I would just watch the falling leaves and listen to the music. It's there's no music. Okay. No music. But there are a lot of deadly creatures. Oop. Too early. Oh, and we start from the bottom. That's hard. Okay. Crosses against the evil. That's probably the first one. So a lot more. I'm not far enough. Damn it. Game over. That's hard. Well, let's try it again. So the controls are really fantastic, so they are very responsive, and there's no slipping or something like this, so it's really, when it stops, it stops. Very comfortable for me. Ah, no! I thought I was a little bit faster, but well, we may have to pay more attention to the movement of those creatures. Ooh, close. And the rats again. Oh, that was close. So, but anyway, we're making some progress. The 4 brothers changed their fate. So I think we have to go deeper. Oops. Oh no. Let us back quite far. But perhaps it's a chance to see whether we have to go up here as well. Yes. Oh, what's that? Scary. Oh. Oh. Oh, damn it. So, oh. So this is a little bit frustrating that we go back so far when we die. I think we have to reach the cross. Jump to death and prove your faith. Well, where? I think first we have to collect the cross over there. But... now I understand. Those crosses are some kind of checkpoints. And since we made it to the next cross, we do not have to start from the very beginning. So, but we have to find a way to reach the cross over there. I just assume those drops are deadly as well, because there wasn't anything so far that hasn't been deadly, so... Another life! And here we have to find a way to go up. But how? So, drop. Checkpoint. Door. A portal. Oh, okay. Actually not sure whether this makes our life easy or not. Closed door, okay. So it looks like we have to find something to open the door. But let's move up first to see what's above. Fortunately there was a checkpoint. So almost too many chances to die. An invisible path over a wooden bridge. Oh, okay. Oh, this looks familiar. Oops. Probably about time. Oops, to pick this one. 5 already out of 12. Okay. I don't know. Can't use it. Oh. Oh. I've been here before. So actually I'm a little bit lost. Which direction we have to go, but I remember there was a closed door on the other side. Perhaps it's open now. Let's have a look. No, it wasn't here. Ah! Damn! The deadly water drop. And now we are here again. Oh! Game over. Well, I think it's about time for the next game. So, and as I said, let's have a last jump and run game. And then let's move on to some shooters. Another high-risk jump and run / platform game. Sydney Hunter and the Sacred Tribe. F3 to start. So this game is very Indiana Jones niche, so to say. There's a long story ahead. Let's see whether we can jump through it. Press button. You're Sydney Hunter. Black screen. Okay. So, as you can see, another high-res graphics game, but this time it is perhaps not as good as the one we have seen so far. As you can see, the window is shining through. Oh, I had to jump. Sydney Hunter, but well, beside this, it looks pretty nice. It has a couple of performance issues. As you can see, every time we have some fire in the level, Sydney Hunter starts to move a little bit more, well, not as smooth as before. And the mission is to collect as many diamonds as it is required to open certain gates. There are some kinds of connecting aisles or something like this. Ah, damn it. Oh! Damn it. Sometimes we start with a different color, and I think we are invincible then, but this time it hasn't worked, and now I have no idea how we go to the other side, so we may have to find a different path. Ooh. Oh, that was close. So this game is available as a disc version as well, but then it suffers very long loading times. So, and now we are dead. And I think it's probably enough for jump and run games for tonight. Then let's move on to some more action. And I think let's jump into Aviator Arcade II. So this game has, I think, started as a 60k RGCT competition game and then has been developed further into a full game. Well, whatever full game means, more levels, more functions, I don't know. And there was a preview version available, I think about 6-7 months ago, perhaps a little bit longer. I lost kind of tracking of all that stuff. And the interesting thing here is that we have a lot of options, so we can start at different levels, we can start with different difficulties, and we can have game music, sound effects, and auto fire, which is very nice if you have a joystick like this, which has no auto fire. then we can set this to auto, and this makes life a lot easier. And just for the purpose of playing it, let's set it to easy, because it's a little bit tricky to pay attention to gaming and do some chatting. And as I said, I'm not a hardcore gamer, and therefore it's always a little bit tricky for me. It looks a bit not as smooth as I have it in mind. Not to say it's a little bit choppy. I can't remember that it was so. But it showed so much stuttering when I played it quite a while ago. But well, damn it. So, as you can see, this helicopter comes with a limited amount of health, or whatever we want to call this. And now it's about time to find some health. Okay, which we have done so far. And now we have to avoid getting hit all the time. Ah, damn it. So it looks like I'm not very good at avoiding those bullets. Oh, we made it through the first level. I'm impressed. What I really like is that we have different schemes or different themes of levels, different enemies approaching us, and with different power-ups as well. And it's really about learning the levels, learning the patterns of those enemies, and then the game becomes more and more playable. So if you just jump in, then you may recognize that it's a little bit hard to avoid getting hit, but over the time it becomes more and more kind of a reflex, and therefore it has really some great potential for longer gameplay. And as you have seen at the beginning, we have 3 different difficulties, and if this feels too easy for you, then you can easily change this to a more challenging level, and therefore you can spend quite a lot of time with this game. For it looks a little bit simple at the beginning, it has really some interesting details, and having this start and stop motion in the levels, it's really a very nice feature. And we have some mid-level bosses as well as end-level bosses. And we are almost, we made it through the 2nd level. Very nice, very nice. I think this game would benefit from twin SID support a lot. So having the music on one SID and having the sound effects on the second SID would be very cool. Now we have a lot of interruption due to the sound effects, but as we have seen at the very beginning, we are able to select whether we want to have all of it or just the music or just the sound effects. So you can set this up to your own purpose, but it would be very cool to have twin SID support, as we have seen this on the Ultimate 64 already, the ARM2 SID, the FPGA SID. These are all hardware solutions from this century which are coming with twin SID support, and having the SID FX in mind or the mixed SID, it is even possible to build a standard C64 with 2 SIDs as well, and I think this is going to be the last boss we're going to see today, because I think this is going to kill me. And there it is. So I forgot to use my smart bombs. It starts again, so it looks like we have some additional lives. I thought we already ran out, but there is still some life left. 2. Bit quiet in the channel today. And the chat, to be precise. So let's see whether we can have some progress now. During the preparation of this episode I had a lot of issues with my internet connection, but it looks like this has been stabilized now. Oh, it's gone. What happened? Mission accomplished. It escaped. Via satellite we tracked the fleeing creature to the South Pole. Your new mission is to locate it. Use of maximum lethal force authorized. Wow. So now we are on the South Pole. Ooh. So as you can see, it becomes more and more challenging, but there are plenty of power-ups so far. Alien life form detected. Ooh. Another slowdown means another enemy. Two of them. Ah. Strange energies detected. Let's see whether we can have some smart bomb action. Since lethal weapons authorized. I mean, then we have to use it as well. What's that? Oh. Oops. That was close. We discovered a spaceship and hyperspace launch pad at the polar base. Take the ship and enter alien space on a scouting mission. We need to better understand what we are facing. And we are in space. So I have to admit that's the very first time I made it to this level, so... Oh, this reminds me a lot of Galencia, one of the bonus levels. So it's very interesting to see so much variation in this game. So it looks like I really have to spend some more time playing it to see what's coming on. Wormhole energy is detected. Oh. Sometimes it has a funny mix of stretched sprites and standard sprites. That's a funny looking creature, isn't it? Oh, we ran out of smart bombs, so I thought we get them. Jump to the next connection point and see if we can find a route to their home system. The human race is depending on you. Okay. Pressure is increasing, re-entering normal space-time. Now we got some laser barriers. Meteor storm. They look pretty nice. Oh, damn it. Get ready. 2 lives left. Once again. Last life, so let's see if we can make it to the end of this level. Oh, different weapon. Wow, look at this. That's nice. This is making some effect. I have to remember that we have to go through the laser barrier as soon as it ends. Ah, damn it. Game over. But well, I'm pretty happy that I made it so far. And I'm major. Wow, look at this. Let's go for some high score. Oh, very nice, very nice. Then let's move on to Hunter's Moon, which I'm probably not going to play so long because it is indeed a bit strange to play. Making good progress. Just need to drink something. The Hunter's Moon comes with a fantastic intro, probably one of the best intros I have seen so far, beside Last Ninja. But there's a fantastic music by Matt Gray. I mean, nothing can go wrong with this one. And as I said at the very beginning, this game had some issues on the Ultimate 64, but fortunately this has been fixed. And therefore it's really great that we can play this on the Ultimate 64. And this is the Hunter's Moon remake, or I think so. And this was crowdfunding project. And the game cartridge comes with the original game as well, so you can play both versions. And it's a very interesting gameplay. You really have to get used to it. It's a little bit tricky at the beginning, but you got so many different levels, and you can even create your own levels, and therefore you can really spend hours and hours playing this game. I have to admit I never played the original back in the time then, so this has been my very first approach to this kind of concept. So fantastic title screen. That's amazing. So then let's jump into the game. New game, continue game. Oh, I have no idea. Was it good? Was it bad? I don't know. Select craft destination. Unknown, clear, the Hunter star map. Okay. So. The interesting thing is that you can kind of configure the star ship you're using here. So it comes with different behaviors, like longer inertia, for example, or different kind of weapon and shield options. And as you can see, the parts I'm shooting are kind of recreated, and this is lethal. And then you start at the beginning. Ah, damn it. Oh, high score. Okay, that was short. Then let's perhaps start at the beginning. So there's some kind of a radar section where you can see, yeah, you can find those, I think, energy cells. Ah, 2 of them. Damn it. Ah! Now you're supposed to go into this one. Too slow! Too slow! Ah. Oh, there was just one. Okay. Now we have to select the destination. I'm a bit confused by the radar screen. Just have to figure out what is it going to show me. And looks like there's another one, perhaps on top. Yes. The last one. Oops. And another one. This direction, I think. Yes. Prepare to enter subgame. So. think the mission is to survive as long as possible, probably, or to kill all of this moving pieces. Oh, they shoot at me. So this is probably a game where I really have to watch some videos on YouTube to understand what's really the best approach to play this. So well, at least we're making some progress. Ah, damn it. Ah, haven't seen this one, and it looks like game over. So there was one thing I can't remember. We had a chance to FX sound, DOS, retro new. I think there was some kind of screensaver option or something like this. I can't remember how we have to activate this. So basically I think this is the original version. And it looks indeed a bit different. And we can't destroy something. So we may have to find a way through this maze. And ooh, and we died. So let's find a different road. Ah, this is something we can destroy, okay. And as usual, it keeps coming back. Now we have to find the entrance for this one. I think we won't fit through this. Damn it. Oh, let's move to the other side. Usually we can go... Ah! Bit too far. Ah, damn it. Still 4 to go. I have really no idea how we're going to reach the other ones. Ah, damn it. Oops. That was quick. Ah, we are a two-player game. That's the reason why we change color every time. And that's the reason why it's not ending. I was a little bit confused. I thought so many. Okay. Looks like we can destroy this. I haven't figured out how, but basically it was working shortly, but now it has stopped. Damn it. Well, I think that's probably enough for Hunter's Moon. It's really a little bit tricky to play. And still got some other games left. So let's move on to Galencia. So it's very nice to see that all of the games we have tested so far are working. That's a very good quote. Let's listen to the sound a little bit. So it looks like I got some internet problems again, but hopefully this will kind of stabilize. Still uploading, so I hope the stream will recover. So now we can configure a lot of things here as well. So this is probably one of the most colorful Galaga conversions I have seen so far, and basically it plays very well, and fortunately it's not requiring auto fire because it comes with a built-in auto fire function already. Plays a little bit tricky without sound, so I may get my headphones back. Not so good so far. Lost 2 ships. So it looks like the stream is still suffering from some uploading issues. Ah, damn it. Another attempt. Video output low. That's very strange because it's uploading with a lot of data right now. Ah, damn it. Should pay more attention to the game. Well, now, stay focused. So there's actually a sequel in development, and just forgot the name of the guy, but he's on Twitter as well, and he's posting some updates every now and then, and it's going to be a more complex version, some different game parts, some 3D game parts, and more music. Ah, damn it. No. Extreme caution, yes, I know. At least we got all of them. And now we got an extra life. Ah, damn, in the outer corner. That's so unfair. Ah, no. Probably not a good time to play Galencia today, so then let's move on to the next one. Oh, that was the wrong button. Let's go for Trance Sector Ultimate. So it's uploading with a good bit rate, but it still says video output low. No, but it looks quite okay. This looks indeed a bit strange. So I'm not sure whether this is the purpose of this screen or Standard mode, competition mode. Let's try it with standard mode. So I think the purpose is to clean all those green fields and avoid those missiles. Oh! I was looking for this bubble because it changed its content. Ah, damn it. And we are able to collect the word extra, as we can see at the top of the screen. But therefore we have to get to the bubble when it contains some letters. And we got a T. E, we need X, R and A. Oh, this was close. We got the E already. No, that wasn't helpful. Oh. Last life. Oh. Ah, damn it. Hall of Fame. Not sure whether this is really fame or if it's just... Oops. Damn it. It's really just something that kind of robs your attention. And then you run into the missiles. Ah, damn, those corners. A bit unpredictable. As I said. Level 4. Ah. Damn it, I couldn't. I was trying to change the direction, but I got stuck somewhere. Quickly out. Oh, that was close. I thought I could escape this one. Please enter your name. Ah, no more names. Ah, okay, we can enter a very long name. So, one last attempt and then let's move on to the next game. Looks like the stream is back to good health. Just surprised to see that the chat is so quiet today. Oh, damn it. Perhaps Friday night is not the best time for game streaming. I don't know. Too slow. Bit too slow. Ah! Looks like my attention is starting to deteriorate. Oops. Level 5. Let's see whether we can make this one, and then it's probably really about time to move on. Oh, we got stuck there. Oh, not again. Ah, damn it. Oops. Oh. Ah. Phew. Very close. But fortunately we made it. Ah, damn it. Game over. Well, anyway. That's probably enough for Trance Ultimate. Very nice music, I really love it. And there's even a 2-sit kind of stereo version available at High Voltage SID Collection, I think, and perhaps on Richard Bailey's webpage too, which sounds indeed very nice. Then let's move on to Luftrauzers. And then we are almost done. We will have a very last and short look at Space Moguls. Moguls. And then that's probably really enough for this gaming session. So I remember that this has some very nice music as well. Save to disk, load from disk. Nope. I think it loads automatically my game. Yep. So I really have to remember how we have to control this. Oh. So in this game you have a lot of different kind of planes and shoot modes and engines, and every level comes with a different mission. So although they look very similar, you really have to pay some attention what's going to be the objective of this level. Something I haven't paid attention to right now, since I really have to get used to the controls again. Sometimes you have to make a certain amount of points, sometimes you have to shoot a certain type of plane, or destroy a ship, or make it to a certain multiplier. So it's really very different. But now we have to pay attention that we're not going to die. So the screen border basically represents your kind of health status. So every time it turns red, you have to stop shooting to recover. And now it was saying blind, which means that there is somewhere something we may have to destroy. But, well, it destroyed us. Mission completed. Well, now we can go to the hangar and change our ship. I have actually no idea what all those options are really meant. So, and here are the mission's objectives. Kill 3 boats while undamaged. Okay. Missions complete. Kill the jet at max combo. Probably nothing we can accomplish so far very easily. This may need some practice. So now we're at max, now we need a jet. But first we have to survive. One last attempt. So, destroying 3 boats while being undamaged looks quite impossible to me. But the game sticks to it. Quite often it changes the objective after a couple of failed attempts. But this time it looks like we really have to go through it. That was a jet, but we are not at max. And we lost the combo. And that's the end of this game. Okay, then, well, let's have a very last look at Space Moguls, and then we're going to finish this gaming session. It's almost 2 hours now. I think it's long enough. As you can see, another Protovision game. So I really have to remember how we have to play this game. Perhaps it's a little bit easier if you just jump into the attract mode and let the computer play it a bit. So as you can see, it's a turn-based strategy game where you have to, well, survive on a, well, foreign planet. And actually the game consists of 4 different parties, players, whatever we want to call this. And you have different kind of landscapes or kind of piece of land. And you have to buy robots, and those robots are going to work on this certain type of land, and you have different opportunities. You can go for minerals, for example, you can go for wood, you can go for food, and you can harvest energy, and this depends on the piece of land you are on. So it basically makes not that much sense to place a robot for wood on a piece of land with water, for example. And every player is competing at each other, against each other. So, and there's going to be some kind of sale and a buy and sale round as well, where you can kind of balance your resources, and then you have some kind of natural disasters, for example. And so this is, after a couple of attempts, it really plays very fast, very fluidly, and makes really a lot of fun, especially if you play this against human players, for example. But it plays very well against the computer, artificial opponents as well. So now we can then we have some stats about food usage, food production, and then can sell or buy things. And this requires some kind of, well, let's say practice until you get a certain rhythm of this buy and sell. I ended up being on the wrong side at the beginning every time, but after a while I really get used to this. And for a turn-based game, it has some, well, it's kind of fast-paced, so there's not that much time to think about things. too long because they have a timer, and if the time runs out, the game just goes on with whatever you had started. Now we can pick a new piece of land, and sometimes you get a chance to buy some land as well, depending on your money. And you really have to try to get ahead of the opponents, but sometimes you really make some good progress just to learn that you ended up with the wrong strategy, for example, and then in the last rounds you're really losing a lot because you placed your robots on the wrong piece of land, or you got some natural disasters and some bad luck. Well, things happen, but overall it's indeed a very nice game, and it's a very interesting mix of graphics. So now we have some kind of real pixel graphics, and now we have this mix of PET-ski graphics here, and as you can see, it really switches very fast between the screens, and you really can get lost in the game quite easily, and especially with the attract mode, you really can just keep it there and let it play as a kind of screensaver session. Very nice. And well, basically I think this is enough for this evening. So a lot of games have been played, so played 9 games in total, and this is the 10th game which we just let run for a while. But basically I'm really impressed that everything was running fine on the Ultimate64, that the sound has worked quite perfectly on most of the games, so I think there are really, especially in the 85, 80 mode, there are not that much work left, and I really have to work on my comparison video where I really spend some more time comparing all those replacement solutions against real SIDs, for example, with a limited amount of songs and titles, so that we really can compare, really can hear or detect the differences. But this is very time consuming, and actually I'm pretty constrained in terms of time, so everything takes a little bit longer than initially planned, but well, it will happen sometimes. I'm making some progress, and basically, well, that's all for today. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for watching. I will keep this video online as a replay, and I will add some information in the description section. Just lost the word for a while. And well, see you for the next episode. Bye bye.